We are so excited. We are here with Oni Lasana, and she is going to be teaching us a wonderful workshop on Saturday, February 12th, 2022, from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. But don't worry, there's a link down there below for a time zone converter. So no matter where you are, but you have to know the title. It's big, it's wonderful. And actually, Oni, maybe you should say it because you have the best rhythm for saying the title of this workshop. Do you mind?
No, you can do Dunbar, add him to your repertoire.
See, I wouldn't have done it justice. So thank you so much. Usually I say the title, but it just didn't make sense for this time. Now, you have loved Dunbar. I think all of us should love Dunbar,
Yeah,
Paul Laurence
Dunbar.
Dunbar. And you've done many, many things. You've portrayed his mother. You've done third person, first person, so many things. Why? What did this love come from? Tell us more.
Well, back in 1992, I was a co-founder of Coatesville Cultural Society. Coatesville's a little town between Philadelphia and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And we started to study Paul Laurence Dunbar. Bob Jones is a local musician and a grassroots artist, and he's no longer with us, but he started up the Jones Dance Troupe, and we formed the Coatesville Cultural Society, where we were able to raise money to build a theater. We took over a very old department store in town that still stood, and renovated it and got funding, and we built our whole Coatesville Cultural Society off of touring throughout the schools doing Paul Laurence Dunbar's uh, lyrics of love and laughter. So we had an interracial group of us, and we had plantation scenes, and we did most of his Southern dialect poetry. Um, so that was in 1992, and we toured around locally and raised funds for the theater, and we ended up doing some really great theater pieces other than Dunbar in the Coatesville Culture Society. So that's how I first learned about Dunbar, uh, because I never studied him in school.
And it's just grown from there. And this year in particular is very special. I know there's this hashtag Dunbar 150. Could you tell us more about what that means exactly?
Well, hashtag 150 is commemorating from the time he was born in 18, where's my moment? From the time he was born and up to today. And it's 150 years. And what it is the United States government, the uh, Historical Society in Dayton, Ohio. He is tied to the Wright brothers, Neville and Orville Wright, who were the first Americans to fly an airplane at Kitty Hawk. Well, they were good friends with Paul Laurence Dunbar in high school in Dayton, Ohio. And they actually helped him edit and produce his first newspaper at the time for African Americans in Dayton. It was called the Tattler. So they were good friends with Dunbar, good buddies. So they tie that their museum, the Wright Brother Museum, is tied in with Paul Laurence Dunbar House. And it's run by the state and the government. And it's a wonderful celebration until 2023 of Paul Laurence Dunbar, um, his legacy. He was born in 1872 and he passed in 1906. So hashtag Dunbar 150 is going to be a full celebration. There's, say, almost 100, if not more, schools and apartment buildings that are named after Paul Laurence Dunbar across the nation. And he also traveled to England. He was one of the first Americans to really go travel to England and do spoken word. Uh, so I call him the father of the spoken word movement. I called him our American Shakespeare. And I'm just so excited to be able to share what I've done with his work, the musical arrangements I've made for his work as a teaching artist, as a performer. And I'm excited to share in the past the legacy of his work down to other teaching artists and storytellers and educators and people who just love Paul Laurence Dunbar and are familiar and grew up with his poetry and his short stories.
And I love that you're willing to have other people learn Dunbar. I mean, this could be a specialty for you, which it is, of course, but you want more people to be what's called Dunbarians, right? That's
Okay.
a fun, loving term of those who love Dunbar, Dunbarians. And what's exciting is that we wanted to do this event not just as a workshop, but as a performance later. So we did team up with Artists Standing Strong Together. And so we are collaborating to make it possible. So we have this workshop, and those who attend can qualify to be part of a virtual performance on June 11th. And so excited for that partnership. And I'm hoping we can do many more with them. So again, everybody, please remember it is Saturday, February 12th, 2022 from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. But don't worry, that link down there has a time zone converter. And you can do Dunbar. Add him to your repertoire.
Repertoire.
Until we tell again.
All right. Thank you.